Hi, I'm Mary Lou and I'm from Waterloo Gardens here in Exton. Today we're going to talk about doing your own container or having us do one for you. My customer brings this in for me every year. Cobalt blue is her favorite color. This is almost a ginger jar shape to this container, so I really want to consider the height and the color of the flower that will most contrast against this cobalt blue. Because it's a nice size container, I like to fill the bottom with my recycling. That way you don't have to use 20 pounds of dirt and make this pot even heavier. So just use your regular water bottles, plunk it in the bottom, and it'll also help with drainage. The roots will just grow around it. So now that we've got that, I'm going to establish my height. Because this is a nice deep pot, I'd like something that is proportionately tall to it. So you could choose a spike, and in this one I would do 2, just for a little bit more volume. The purple scaevola is my customer's favorite plant. Has a little bit of yellow in the center. It's really pretty. So what we do is we consider the tall, then it's almost like stairs in your house. Step down to the next height. So the scaevola will grow to about this tall. So that'll be the next size plant we're going to put in here. For fullness, I'm going to use euphorbia, also known as diamond frost. It's a great filler. Now when you're doing this, when you take it out of the pot, don't be afraid to handle the roots. Disconnect it. See, this is dying to get out into some nice soil and fertilizer. Just give it a little squish. Loosen up the roots. Shape it around a little bit. You can knock off some of the excess if you want. And then we're going to place that right in there. That will be a fabulous filler. Don't be afraid to move these spikes around. There we go. Now for another height behind the spike, I'm going to use one of my favorites, black and blue salvia. Has a gorgeous blue-purple flower to it. With the scaevola, it'll be a great contrast. Now, because I've got a lot of green in here, I think we need something to brighten it up a little bit. Nothing better than our traditional sweet potato vine, which is this great lime green. I'm going to loosen up the roots a little bit. You can knock off some of the excess. See those nice healthy roots? It's dying to get into this pot. Put it right in the front. Now look at that lime contrast against these purples. It's fabulous. If you really want another pop of color, this orange lantana is fabulous. It's native to South America and Mexico, so it can take the heat of your back deck, patio, or your pool. I'll put this on this side in the front for a pop of color over here. Now I'm going to use Shake and Feed Miracle Grow, which we sell here. I also use Bloom Booster too. That's great. If you've got Miracle Grow at home, you can do this. This is a slow release pellet, and I'm going to show you. There's small granules, and you can put it in the soil before you started putting the plants in, or you can put it on top. You don't have to fertilize it for a few weeks. It takes about 4 weeks. You don't have to worry about anything. So I'm going to just sprinkle that across the top. And again, it'll be a slow release. So this is a container. It has the elements that we talked about. It has the height with your spikes, or you can use the height of your black and blue salvia. So you want something that's going to be tall. The next thing will be your step down, and it's usually a flower. Here we're going to use the euphorbia for filler and our next step, and also this scaevola, which will grow up and out at the same time. Spilling out is this vine, which is a sweet potato vine. You could also use verbena as a spiller. Now I wouldn't mix this with this because it's pink and orange, so I might take this out. Now isn't that pretty? We've got pinks, purples, we've got your height, step down, and cascading of the vine and the verbena. I'll show you another one that we just did for a customer the other day. Come on over. So here we have the elements we just talked about in our container garden. We've got a tall, dark burgundy grass, which is a fabulous contrast against all of these green leaves from your salvia. This is a very nice purple salvia. Again, it contrasts great. It's got some great buds on it too. Stepping down, because these are going to be tall and this is tall, but the next step down is pentas. Here's a gorgeous pentas. This is going to get just a little bit taller, but lots of buds and fullness and color right here. Here we have scaevola, which is a fabulous plant for the hot sun. It'll spill out, up and out. We call that mounding. Here in the front we have the Picasso petunia, which is one of my favorites, which is hot pink with a lime green lip. Over here in the front, creeping Jenny, which comes back in my pots every year. So you might just want to leave this at the end of the season and it'll come back after a long winter. Sometimes you could throw it in another part of the yard, it'll spread, and you can dig it up and put it in your pot. So it's an easy plant to have. Over here is another spilling, cascading plant called million bells. It's a relative of the petunia, but it doesn't have to be deadheaded. So there's a lot of elements going on in here, but it's basically the same for each pot. I think you'll enjoy this. Again, this is full sun. Next time we'll do one for shade. Thanks for tuning in.